Hi, scrappy friends. Welcome back to my channel. It seems like it's been a while since I've done a recorded video, and I apologize for that. I took a little road trip, and just getting back into the swing of things has been kind of difficult, but I'm back, and today we are going to start another round of keeping it simple. So the idea with these pages are that we create simple but beautiful, easy to create pages. And the purpose behind this is that we're getting our pages done, we're getting our stories told, and we're completing albums. So if you haven't seen the first video that I've done, I'm going to link it at the end. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer back to the first 3 videos and where we did keeping it simple, and we did very basic borders. So we did some at the top, we did some at the bottom, and then we did one where it was at the side. So we're going to go back and kind of scrap lift those, but we're going to add one more part to it. If you saw the title of this, it's adding layers. So we want to take our simple page and add a simple layer to it, just to change up our layouts, to add a little bit more of depth and dimension to our pages, and let's face it, to use all that pretty paper that I love to use. So that's my main goal, is just to add a little bit more color and definition to my scrapbook layouts. Here on the screen, I'm going to put up for you the first layout that we did in that first round of keeping it simple. And as you can see, it has that very simple border across the top. It's just a strip of paper and then a punched out border from a border punch. Then it has the 8 photos across the 2-page spread and some very basic embellishing in the 3 areas forming our visual triangle, and then of course some journaling down there at the bottom. So I love this layout. I love it mainly because it's probably red, white, and blue. I love anything red, white, and blue, whether it's patriotic or nautical. It just seems to be my color, my favorite color choice. The only other depth and definition I gave to it was matting all the photos. And matting all the photos does count as a part of layering. I like that. It's very simple, it's quick, and I think my page came out beautiful. But what I want to do today is take that same concept of creating that simple border at the top, some simple embellishment clusters. I want to try and get 8 pictures across my 2-page spread. So I want to keep that the same as well. Just want to add a little bit of layering and see how that changes up our direction of our layout. So come on back to my table and we'll go ahead and get started. So today I want to do some photos of my oldest daughter. She played softball for 1 season. And so I want to make sure that I capture this season in our family albums for that year. So looking at the photos, I decided I wanted to use some blues because there's blue in her jersey. Her pants were gray with a blue pinstripe. So I thought that why not pull out some blue? I don't feel the need to go super heavy into the whole softball theme. So I dove into my Polar Lights collection. And actually this will probably use up the remainder of my collection. Other than the little scraps I have here, I have 1 piece of patterned paper. We'll see where that's going to take us. But these are my only scraps left. I'm the type that as long as it's in the blue family, then I feel like they match. These all came from the same collection, so I feel like they match and they coordinate well together. I am not the type that needs to find this exact blue that she's wearing on her jersey and use that in my layout. I feel like blue is blue, and if it's blue, it's gonna match. What I really love about this paper here, if you look closely at it, it has like those diagonal hash marks, and it looks like the stitching on a baseball or a softball. So I thought that was perfect. For my background today, I'm just going to bring in some navy cardstock. Okay, so let's start with the border at the top. And for that, I want to bring in this light blue diamond pattern paper, and I have 2 pieces here. This piece looks almost about the same size as we had on the other layout, but that's okay. I don't have to be exact. So this is about 1 7/8. Okay, so we are going to cut this piece into 1 7/8 as well. Okay, let's make sure. Yep, it's perfect. Okay, and then this will go right here at the top, like so. And then for the borders, I'm going to bring in a little bit different banner punch. This one is flag banner punch instead. For that, I'm going to bring in a piece of this star paper, okay? Because I have a feeling once it's punched out, then we won't even notice really what it is, and it's just bringing in that dark blue that she has. She has some of that on her uniform as well, so I think that would be nice to bring that in. And I'm just going to bring in this little cheater piece so I can line it up and get the exact amount. And I'm going to bring in my gray mat to help catch some of the fallout. And so I'm not working right on top of my layout. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and punch this. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get both out of the same piece. So I'm going to then turn it around and punch it on the opposite side. Okay. So I'm going to put you on fast forward and I'll be right back. Okay, so there's our banner. I like that a lot, but I am going to bring that gray mat back in because what I want to do is bring my punch back in. I'm going to bring in some of this light, it's almost like a light beige or tan or gray if you look really closely. I want to bring in a piece of this, and I think I'm going to punch it and try and double up that banner and see if we like it. Okay, if we don't like it, I'll save it for another project. So I'm going to put you back on fast forward and I'll be right back. Okay, let's see here. I just want it to hang a little bit underneath. Give it that shadow effect. Yep, I like that. I like that a lot. You could see some of the paper showing through on the little stars, so we might come back and touch those up a little bit. So let me make one more, and then we'll be done with our banner punch. Hold on. Again, we'll just give it a little shadow effect and place it just like that. Okay, and that's going to be our border. So I'm going to get that adhered down. Okay, here is our very simple border. Everything's adhered down so it won't slide around on us. Now I did want to add in some little stars, so I went ahead and did that while I was adhering the border down. All I used for that was this teeny tiny star punch. My son had given this to me several years ago, and I think it was a little set with like a heart and a butterfly maybe, but it's so teeny tiny and it's a little difficult to use, but I love this punch for adding some finishing touches. So I just took some white cardstock and punched out a few little hearts, and then I just glued them right in there to finish off that banner. Basically, this is the page layout that we had in our first video. And so let's go ahead and get our photos on, and then we'll talk about layering. So I have this really nice photo that was taken the day that they were taking professional photos. And so I'm gonna put that one right there. And I also have this other 4x6 photo that I want to put right next to it. And I went ahead and cut down the rest of them so that save some time. So I'm going to put a photo here. I'm going to come back to that spot there. And then on this page, I cut down some photos as well. And these are 3x5. Oops. And then I have a couple 3x3s, which will go there. This is a 3x4, and then another 3x3 that'll go right there. Okay, so that's going to be our basic photo layout. I have my 8 photos. Actually, I have 9 photos on this one. So even better, it's because I cut the photos down. So of course you can get more on your page Okay, so let's talk about our layering and how we're going to do that. So I'm going to bring in first, this is actually some snowflakes, but I don't think it's going to be very obvious once we have it down here. And my idea is to put the majority of it on this side, and it will house this photo right here. So I want to keep the length of the scrap, but this width I will cut down just so I have a little bit overhang here. And then I'll put this photo on that mat as well. Okay, and then on the other side, I will bring in just a small amount of it. Let's see what we have here. This picture's, I didn't trim it, so it's going to be a 4x6. I kind of like the amount that's kind of hanging off right now. So let's see, it's going to be like a 6. I'm looking at my cut guide. Let's do 6 3/4 and see if we like that. I can always trim it down a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. There's our first layer. You see how I'm just bringing in, basically matting the photos like we did in the first one. So I'm just bringing in a piece of pattern paper and giving it one simple layer. And we'll put that one right there. And now I'm going to kind of tuck these photos in a little bit closer. Okay, on this page over here, I want to bring in some more of the star paper that I used up here on the banner. And I really had to piece this together, but I think that it's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to show that much. So I'm going to do something like this. Put my photos right on top, and you'll see it's dark enough. It's going to cover up most of the seam. Let's turn it around. Make sure my seams are being covered up as much as possible. Okay, again, these photos are 3x3, and this is about a 4-inch piece of paper. Okay, so now I'm going to trim this down, but I think, let's see, how do I want this? I think I want it coming down to the bottom, so I'm going to come to right about here. My real official little marking is I'm just going to pinch it with my fingernail. Okay, and then I'll slide it back under here, and yep, I like that a lot. And so you see we added another simple layer. It's just bringing in more and more texture, bringing all the photos to life in our layout. And then I'm thinking of bringing this through. So maybe I will slide it like that and line it up so that it looks like it's a continuous piece. So this is our layers so far. And we're going to have this, I am going to push this one to the edge and have this one running over it so it looks like it's kind of coming out the other end there. Now right over here, I would like to add some more. I'm thinking of bringing in this tan beige piece. So let me see if I can cut. These were 5 inches, so let me cut a 5.5-inch strip. Okay, and I'm going to slide that right in over here to kind of give those a mat as well. There we go. And then I will trim this, let's see, right about here. And then this way I won't feel like I have to mat these photos because they'll all be laying on top of the pattern paper, so it's kind of giving it a mat on its own. To bring in some of the beige pattern paper over here, and we'll just bring in a little mat for this. And then I'm kind of looking at my layout overall and trying to decide where else I can add some mats to just add that one more layer. I think of a photo mat as another layer. And I think what I want to do is bring in just a really thin, maybe 1/8 of an inch frame mat around these two photos over here, because once they're on that dark paper, I don't want them to get washed out. So I just put a little mat around those photos, and then this one over here will have a 1/4 inch mat around it as well. Okay, these two I will leave alone and let this snowflake paper be the mat for those. Okay, so let me get everything adhered down, and then we'll be right back to do some embellishing and finish this layout up. Okay, But while I'm gone adhering, I'd like to ask you to take a moment to click that like button, especially if you like these series and you like this video. I'd really appreciate it if you can give this video a thumbs up. It helps me spread my content throughout YouTube, and I really appreciate you doing that. And thank you so much. I'll be right back. There we go. Everything is adhered down so far. I have my photos matted the way I want them. And I took that very simple border and incorporated a very simple technique of adding in some layers. I added one over here. On this page, I put two. I was just bringing across the colors from the other page. And then I added big photo mat here and brought that same photo mat paper over on the left-hand side as well. Okay, so let's talk about titling, embellishing, and journaling. So I have my circles here, and I think what I'm going to do is I have a big area here, so I think that's going to be maybe my bigger embellishment area. And then I also have room over here for an embellishment area, and then I think I have a smaller one up here that probably will incorporate my title. So for my title, I thought this was great because I think by looking at the photos, you know she's playing softball. The name of her team is here. So I found this one in my stash, and it's from a softball sticker set that I had. So it has some little red dashes down here to look like a ball. Now in softball, they use the yellow balls, but really I only have a couple areas where you can see yellow. So I didn't want to bring in any more yellow on this layout. So I was so happy that this one was on white, and it says there's nothing soft about it. And I thought that was perfect. So I'm going to bring my title up here. I want to bring my journaling right over here, and it won't be quite this big, but just so we can see it for now, it'll be right here with some embellishing around it. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I went through my stash and I pulled out some older stickers. I brought in a couple of things that look like tickets. I had this already punched out. I'm not sure where that came from. And again, some more blue. I did bring in a couple baseball or softball type embellishments, just so I could bring in some theme items as well. So I haven't used a lot of theme yet, so I thought I would bring in a couple little pieces here and there. Okay, so let's scoot some things around here, and I'm going to work up here in my title area. So I think what I want to do up here is I wanted to kind of give it like almost like a ticket idea, make it look like a ticket. Now this is a sticker, but I'm thinking even if I could layer on top of the photo a little, do something like that, but I'm not liking the blue. And this is like a periwinkle, but I think it's going to be just fine. So I have a piece of scrap here, and I'm going to make my own ticket. Yep, that's about the same size, okay? And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this scrap and my corner rounder, and I'm going to use the reversed corner rounder and round the corners using the ticket notch, and give myself that little notch. I'm going to do that on all 4 of the different sides. And if you didn't know, I like to line it up right there, the edge of the paper right in the center of the little screw that comes here with the manufacturing. And that kind of seems to always give me the perfect corner. Okay, so there. I kind of wanted a ticket look because it is a ball game, and you would need, you know, I mean, girls softball, we didn't need a ticket to get in, but other sporting events you would. And so I kind of want to layer it up my title just like I was layering up my paper on my page. So here, I think I need to add a little something on this. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to give it some little dashes all the way around. Okay, so there, I'm going to put this up, and I'm not even sure I need that label. I want to do something like this. There, see that dotted, the slashes gave it just enough character, and I used the blue fine tip marker. So the blue brings in some more blue into our layout. And let's see, I had some bats here. I was thinking maybe to use, these are some older creative memories. Oh, it says 1998 on the back. That's awesome. Okay, so those stickers were a little hard to get off. So I'll probably need to just place a little bit of wet glue behind them, but I'm gonna have them just poking out from behind our title so that we can see that they're bats, because here she has her bat. So I thought that would be perfect. Now down here, I thought I want to bring in, I have this little scrap of the starburst paper that we used in the banner and over here. So I thought, why not just bring it right here? And it fits so perfectly right there. I thought, awesome, that's perfect. And so in this little spot, I would like to bring in, I have this little catch, this little glove and ball. I thought would be cute because she's catching the ball right here. But I do feel like I don't want it just floating there. So I'm gonna bring in some more of this tan paper and my 1 3/4 circle punch, and I will punch out from the scrap of paper a circle to put right on top. Maybe we will even tuck it under the photo a little. Of course, I adhered it right to the edge right there. And then I'm going to slide this in there. That's going to give us a little place to put our sticker, and you see it's just a square sticker on some white backing. So I'm just going to put it just like that. Above that, I had this phrase that said "great catch." It came from the same sticker set that my title came from, and so I want to put that like this so it's overlapping that just a little bit, and so it'll say "great catch" as she's catching the ball. Now for the journaling, let's see, actually this little ticket that I was going to use up there, I think that might be a perfect spot for my journaling. Yeah, actually I like that. And I'm going to move my embellishment cluster to up here, I think. Okay, I think I like that. I think that's going to be perfect. Okay, I have this square piece. I found this in my stash. It was just a white square with a blue edge, and I thought, okay, I'm going to use that because I want to bring in some white over here because I have a lot of white and I want to just continue it over here. So I'm thinking that I will put it right over here. And on that, I found this in some old Creative Memory stickers. It says "win." Again, it's just the white, the blue and white. So I'll probably stick this down like over here. And I brought in 3 stars, again, from some old Creative Memory stickers. So we're bringing in those oldies but goodies, right? Those vintage stickers, as I like to say. And then I have one little die cut that I found in my stash, and I liked it because it was a white ball. It probably came from a baseball, not a softball pack, but it says "play ball." And I liked it because I like to have words pretty much in all my clusters. And I have one word here, but I thought it would be great if it just came popping out from underneath the pennant flag. There we go. And that's the embellishing. I'm going to get everything adhered down and come back and add just a little bit of finishing touches. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, everything's adhered down and I'm ready for those finishing touches. So far, I am loving this. I'm keeping this layout very simple, but yet it's coming along very nicely. So what did I do? I went into my stash and I pulled out some more vintage stickers, and I want to add a little ball right up here. I know it's a baseball, but that's okay. I did not want yellow, so I'm not going to do that. And then, so I went and grabbed more stars because this is where I got the other stars from over here. So I thought, let me go ahead and add a couple up here. I felt like my decoration up here was kind of lacking, so we'll add in 3 stars. I happen to have 3 blue ones on this sheet. So let's see. Yep, there we go. 1, 2, 3. And there we go. I kind of tilted it up a little bit so it looked just a little bit whimsical up there, and I like that a lot. And then over here, I went and grabbed some puffy stickers, and I pulled these directional pieces out as well, but I'm going to go with these puffy stars because I want stars in each of my clusters. So we're going to add in 3 of these randomly around. There we go. And I like that. That's cute. And I just have these little directional pieces. I think maybe I'll just bring them down right over here next to my journaling, just basically because I don't want to put them back into my stash. I pulled them out and I want to use them up. So give it a little bit more interest and I won't have to put them away. And there we go. It's finished. I think we succeeded. I took a very simple layout. I kept it very simple. And then I just added in some layers of pattern paper to give it a little bit more of a pop. And I love all the different shades of blue. I think it's very fun because she's actually wearing different shades of blue between her jersey and the navy in her pants and then her sweatshirt. But I just thought that, you know, having all the different color blues just really adds to it. And I can't believe I used Polar Lights collection to do a softball layout. So I am very happy with it. It's very cute. And I hope that you enjoyed that. It was fun being with you today. And thank you for joining me. And if you're looking for more inspiration, I'm going to go ahead and link that playlist right here, as well as another video specifically for you. Until next time, everybody, take care and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.